Hello friends, I am Pradeep Patil and today I will try to analyze the trade relations between India and China. I hope that it will throw some light upon the issue, and this video may also be useful for the purpose of competitive exams and interviews. Recently, 20 Indian soldiers martyred in a violent face-off with China in Galwan Valley at LAC, that is Line of Actual Control. The critics want to delink India economically from China and boycott the Chinese product as a economic retaliation. This reaction is quite natural, but we have to see whether this angry demand is feasible or not. It is interesting to know that such kind of demands are not new or unique in nature. China itself tried to boycott Japanese products in early 1930s as protest against the Japanese colonization. United States similarly tried to boycott French products in 2003 as France refused to deploy the troops in Iraq post 9/11. Arab countries many times boycotted the products of Israel and America as regard to their stand on the Palestine. History appears that such attempts could not gain much success. Now let us see the growth stories of India and China. India and China were the prosperous countries. They are the oldest civilizations in Asia. They were never at war until 60 years ago. Their economic growth rate was the same till 1978. However, in 1978, China began to moving away from its centrally planned economic system towards the market-oriented economic system and emerged as second largest economy in the world. Its contribution towards global GDP in 1980 was 1.2%, which was 15.5% in 2018-19. China's GDP was only 5% of US GDP, which is more than 65% as of now. So today China has become the largest nation in the trade platforms. It is fully integrated with the dense network of regional as well as global supply chain. Its size of economy is $14.44 trillion, which is 5 times bigger than the Indian economy. On the other hand, India was following the import substitution model till 1991, and during that period its GDP growth rate was 3.5%. However, subsequent governments went in the opposite directions, opened the doors for global trades and investments, and laid down the foundation for tremendous economic prosperity with the GDP growth rate over 9% for a few years. And due to that initiative, today India is ready to play an important role in the global economy. Despite India is one of the fastest growing countries in the world, it is heavily dependent on China as far as the import is concerned. If you see the data, then you will find that the solar panel 90%, toys 90%, mobile phone 74%, pharma API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredients 65 to 70%, furnitures 57%, bicycle 50%, electricals and electronic goods 50%, organic chemicals 38%, automobile parts 30%, and fertilizer 28% are being imported from China to India. Its trade deficit in 2018-19 was $53.6 billion, comprising the imports $70.3 billion and exports $16.7 billion. So what is the way out? How we can address this challenge? According to experts, there are three ways. Number one, creating sustainable alliance. Friends, it is important to note that India is not alone in worrying about the hegemonic ambitions of China. There are several other countries like South Korea, Japan, Australia and Vietnam, which are equally worried about these ambitions. So the path building for Pan-Asian alliance can be an effective tool to check the power of China. Point number two, need-based import. Unless it is absolutely essential, we can avoid to import the products from China. Though there are certain provisions of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, restrict India to discriminate any other countries on the import platform. The same provisions cannot be imposed on India if the consumers, if the users refuse to purchase such items. So by this way we can eliminate the cheap and low quality products from there. Point number three, deep localization. Deep localization is the key to create alternative products which can compete with the global products in both the parameters, cost as well as quality. But this mechanism of deep localization may not be promoted in isolation, but it can flourish if it is implemented through the coordination with other countries. So the demand for complete boycott of Chinese products may provide some immediate gratification, but it may not be much helpful for India. Rhetoric is no substitute for substantive action, and the trade policies are always designed on the basis of relative strength and weaknesses, not on the basis of emotions. There is a range of military, diplomatic and economic options are available, and we are sure that India will explore the same and take suitable action in the due course. Thank you very much.